everyone, I'm Amy. So, I'm sure you always hear foreigners say how amazingly convenient Taiwan actually is. And for the most part, I totally agree. Convenience stores, they're open 24 hours. They're very friendly to non-Chinese speakers. There's so much help for foreigners here in Taiwan, and I'm very, very grateful for that. But of course, there's some things that even now, being in Taiwan 14 years, still a little bit inconvenient. And I know that a few foreigners shared the same things with me as well. So this is not a complaint video. This is maybe a video for someone that's thinking of moving to Taiwan or just interested in the topic. Okay, so number one is, of course, the clothes. So if I was a size small in the UK, I'm probably going to be an extra large here in Taiwan. That's maybe a bit of over-exaggeration, but you get what I mean. So shopping for clothes in Taiwan, still, for me, I don't find it easy, but it's totally different to what it is back in the UK. So I tend to buy a lot of my clothes when I go back yearly to the UK. It's a lot easier. I know my sizes, I know that's going to fit. And also body shapes are different here in Taiwan as well. Like, girls' hip sizes are different and bust sizes are different. So that's also hard as well, because maybe you'll get like, it fits okay here but doesn't fit okay here, or it fits okay here but doesn't fit okay here. That's still really difficult, and I know lots of foreigners find that too. I also have a few YouTuber friends that are men, and they find it terribly difficult to find shoes that fit them in Taiwan as well. I think clothes is definitely one thing us as foreigners may find a little bit difficult. Number two, that's KTV. So I love to go to KTV, and when I first came to Taiwan, they have the Gerbun, right? Like the songbook, which is great. You can check the songs you like. Originally, I would always sing in English songs, but as my Chinese has got better, I can read Chinese, speak Chinese, so I will order some Chinese songs. But nowadays, in KTV, you hardly ever see the Gerbun. You don't ever see the songbook in there anymore. They just get you to order on the computer. But the problem is, it's all in Bepemeve, which is Taiwanese like phonetic system, how you type. But a lot of foreigners use the mainland China system, which is pinyin. And that's obviously because it's easier to English. We can use ABC to type it out. Sometimes I've been to a few KTVs and they don't have the songbooks anymore. They're kind of like, no, use the computer. Sometimes I'll say to my friends, oh, can you just write this out for me, and can you write that out? And when everyone's having a really good time, you don't want to bother them with like trying to find a song in Chinese for you. So, but I think recently the app's come out, so I think I'll be able to type in pinyin on the app. I guess I could learn Bepemeve. Maybe I should, but for me, I use pinyin, and up until now, apart from this problem, pinyin works well for me. Number three is local ATM machines. Okay, it's not, so you would never find this really in Taipei City. But for example, I live in Danshui, and there's some really like local banks, and their ATM machines are all in Chinese. That's not the problem, because I can understand that. The problem is when it gets to like taking out how much money you want to take out, they will use the old number system. If that's the right term for it, banking way, I don't know. So in Taiwan, they will use the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the same written like in English, and then they'll use the Chinese version of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the numbers, and that's fine. Most foreigners can understand that. There's a third way to write numbers, which is like the banking system, the very traditional way. And it's so hard. But some ATM machines I've seen, they actually write in these numbers. There's not many, but near my home there's 2. Yeah, I'd rather go to 7 because I can understand the numbers. So yeah, I think when it comes to numbers, you don't want to mess around. I don't want to be transferring someone like 20,000 Taiwan dollars when I wanted to like transfer like 2,000 Taiwan dollars. So going back a few years ago when I had to write the handwritten receipt for customers when they wanted a receipt, soju, you have to write it in this Chinese. And it took me so long, and my manager was so nice. She actually wrote it down and then wrote the the English 1 to 9 on a piece of paper next to the till for me. So, because when you're in a rush, and sometimes the customers are in a rush, they want to pay, they want to go, they want their receipt, So I'd be there like writing really slowly these numbers. Oh my gosh, they're difficult. So Taiwanese people, can you write them really fast? Because I know it's something you don't use. Is that something as foreigners struggle with, or is that something that Taiwanese people struggle with too? Please do share with me. Next one is a lot of Taiwanese websites don't accept our resident card. They will not recognise it. Even with our new ID numbers, we have like Taiwanese ID numbers now. Foreigners used to have like a different set of ID numbers. A couple of years ago, the foreigners changed to the same numbers as Taiwanese, which was better, I thought. but sometimes they're still not recognised on the system. So then you have to go a different way, maybe use your passport number to, you know, order tickets, things like that. So that's something that I think is still in the process of being updated, I suppose. But it's getting better. It's getting a lot better than it was like, what, 10 years ago. And the next thing is, we're not allowed a Taiwanese passport. I do think this has got a lot better because now the APRC, the permanent residency, allows you to stay in Taiwan, allows you to leave Taiwan for quite a long period of time. You don't have to keep coming back just to say that you're still like a, you know, resident here and things like that. But I just still find it just odd because if my husband, he moved to the UK for like what, over 5 years, he could have then applied for a British passport. But I've been in Taiwan 14 years and I still am not able to apply for one, and there's just no way around it. I mean, there's obviously exceptions for doctors and things like that, but no, that's not something that us foreigners can do, and it would be more convenient if me and my husband decided to leave Taiwan maybe for what, 10 years or even retire to the UK. To know that I have that Taiwanese passport would be great because, you know, I wouldn't have to think, oh, I've got to go back to Taiwan every so often just to keep this card, you know, or I'd have to reapply again. You talk to a foreigner like for the, you know, the first time, and you get on the subject of a kitchen, they're like, oh my god, kitchens are so small. There's no ovens already installed in the kitchen. You have to go and buy an oven because a lot of foreigners like to bake things, right? So a lot of homes in the UK, having an oven in the kitchen is just like, if it doesn't have an oven, it's just weird. Why is there no oven? So yeah, a lot of foreigners do just still find this maybe a little bit inconvenient because you buy an oven but there's not enough space to put the oven, you have to put it on the floor, all this kind of stuff. So that's not really a complaint because it's a different culture and we shouldn't, you know, we have to adapt, and most people do. Like I said before, this is no way of saying Taiwan's not convenient because everyone knows Taiwan is probably one of the most convenient countries in the world. But yeah, just to share. I just think it's interesting to share these things, and please do share with me your opinions as well about Taiwan, these things, and if you've been abroad, please share. Yeah, just let's be easy. Let's have just an open discussion below the video about this, just for fun, just interesting, right? Different cultures, different views, just for fun. There's no meaning behind this. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Really hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe.